Hi guys, Miggy Make It Go here with another how-to video. We put out videos every Friday on crafts, DIY, home improvements, general business advice, and anything else you can think of. If there's something you want to see us do, please let us know in the comments. Subscribe to make sure you can see all of our videos. Enjoy this video. Today we're going to be fixing my wardrobe doors. So these sliding doors didn't slide very well at all. One of them was a bit rough and the other one was very difficult to slide. It took quite a lot of force. These are just your regular wardrobe doors. These ones have mirrors on them, and one of them is sitting towards the back of the track and one is towards the front. So the back one is the one that was very, very difficult. So you'll be able to tell from my grunting that this is the door that's very difficult to move. The other thing that I noticed is that the friction seemed to be coming from the bottom. There didn't appear to be any issues with the top of the doors. It did seem to be very much at the bottom. I did look at the top of the doors, but mostly I was convinced that the problem was at the bottom. So the first thing you want to do when you have this problem is you want to inspect the track and everything around and see if you can see any obvious problems. So you might want to get a vacuum cleaner and vacuum out any dust. You might want to get a damp cloth and clean everything. Make sure there's no gunk in there. You just want to make sure there's no protrusions. If the track is bent, that's something to note. Anything like that. So as I was doing my inspections, I did notice that it didn't seem to be quite aligned at the bottom. So that was the first thing I looked at. There didn't seem to be any other bent tracks or massive obstacles in the way of what I was trying to do. It just seemed to be that the bottom wasn't aligned. So I'm going to have a look at the back door first, because that is the one that is the most troublesome. So as you can see here, it's actually too far forward from the track. I would think that it's supposed to be back onto the track. The first thing I tried to do was just try to push it back. Now that didn't work. I didn't get any movement on the right hand side of the door or the left hand side of the door, and that told me that that wasn't going to work. The next thing I did is I actually lifted the door at each end, the right and the left, lifted it up and tried to place it back on the track. That was what worked. So I slid so I could have a look at the right hand side, lifted it from the bottom very carefully and positioned it directly on the track, and then went around and did the left hand side as well. Now what was actually happening in that case is there's actually little rollers inside of the door, and they were not on the track, and that's why it was so difficult for me to slide the door, because the rollers were rubbing against the bottom surface. They weren't on the track itself. So the rollers were in the wrong position. So once I had moved this door onto the correct position that it was meant to be in, it actually ran really, really smoothly. So you can see from the photos that it's now sitting quite a bit higher than it was before. Now onto the front door. I wondered if the same thing had happened. So I tried to lift the door up on the left hand side and it worked. However, when I went to lift the door up on the right hand side, it didn't seem to latch. It was as though there was no roller there. I spent quite a bit of time lifting, and I even put my hand under there and I could feel a roller, but the roller seemed to be quite a bit more sunken in than on the other door. So after some playing around, I have concluded that the door is correctly sitting on the rollers on the track, However, there is perhaps a bit of a damaged roller or a sunken roller. So this door slides okay, but you can see that it is higher on the left-hand side than it is on the right-hand side. So without going in and replacing that roller, you will get the friction of the door dragging on the floor on that right-hand side. So the next thing you can do is you can actually use some silicone spray. So I had this 3-in-1 silicone spray lubricant. Any brand will do. I know Pledge does one. You can just get it from your local hardware store. Some supermarkets will sell it, or some sort of thrifty DIY type stores should have one that's suitable. So make sure you put the red nozzle in so you have a really direct, precise spray. Shake it really, really well, and then just add a light coat to the entire track. Then run the door back and forth so that it really works and gets in there. After I'd done this, obviously the back door slid really, really well because we'd fixed the problem and put the rollers onto the track. The front door has definitely improved. It's rolling okay, and I think I can live with it how it is. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Just remember, we do put out new videos every Friday. If there's something that you want us to do, please let us know in the comments. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you can see whenever we post a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.